Hello and welcome to Die Rollin. I'm the ever excitable Adam, and today I'm playing Euthia, Torment of Resurrection. This was a review copy sent to us. We're so happy to have this game to have a play because, man alive, is this a beast. I love fantasy adventure games, and this scratches every itch you can have one, really. It's a competitive game, really, but we're playing the solo game of this. So we're doing the hunt, which is the very first scenario where we're just trying to kill at least one level 2 monster. I've played this a few times before. I will probably get some of the rules wrong. It might not be very interesting to watch. We shall see. But yeah, join me, see me kind of muddle through about an hour's worth of gameplay for this. If you see any mistakes, let me know in the comments below. But yeah, I'll give my thoughts after I play this and whether I succeed or fail.
The hunt. Like a heavy rain, the ferocious monsters flooded the land. Even people living in the previously safe neighborhoods of the church are scared to death and refuse to go out day and night. It is time to hunt these creatures down. So we've got 7 game rounds to defeat at least one level 2 monster. Whenever we defeat a level 2 monster, we can take it as a trophy as normal. If we do, whenever we would discard it. Keep the monster card face down near your hero board instead of discarding it. Similarly, if you choose not to take the monster as a trophy, you still keep the card face down near your hero board. If you have a level 2 monster trophy in your sack at the end of the game, counted together with other level 2 monsters you defeated during the game. Now, if you're playing this multiplayer, you'd be trying to get more level 2 monsters than everyone else, but we're playing this solo, so we just need to defeat at least one to win. With this in mind, I'll tell you about our character board. So we are playing Droll. Droll is a barbarian, and he's got a nice little backstory, I imagine. But we're just going straight into this. He's got a rusty sword. When we're rolling dice, you need to get at least 3 and 5 to do at least 1 damage. He starts off with 2 unlocked slots here. We can unlock the rest of these things with these particular elements or this much money. He's got 7 hit points to begin with. This is saying what his maximum hit points currently are. He can wear helmets, jewelry, gloves, and shoes, but he can't wear any of these until we unlock them. He's got 4 of these really fun tokens, which we can use to re-roll stuff with. And he's got 3 slots to carry stuff in. We've got a market board over here, and this is a double-sided one. Normally, you'd have it on this side if you had the long towers where you can stack these tiles. I wasn't sent out with a review copy, so I put this side because it's just easier to see, if I'm honest. And then over here we have our reputation points and we have our score tracker. So we've only got until around 7 to do this. And that reputation tracker, every time it goes on one of those books, we're going to be able to learn new things. With that in mind, we're going to begin. And I'll get to the rules as and when we get to them, guys. But for the starters, let's talk about actions. So on a board, we have 3 of these tokens. We have this one, which allows you to move 1 space or do a mining action. We have this one allows you to move 2 spaces or do a trade action. And we have this one that does 3 spaces or a combat action. So what we're going to do to begin with is we're going to decide which one of these we want to do. And you know what? We're going to go start off with this number 2. So we're going to move 2 spaces. We have a portal on here. So we could, if we found another tile with a portal, we could teleport to another location. So we're going to move into this space first. As soon as you move into one of those, you're going to be flipping over another tile. So that portal is ridiculous because yeah, you can teleport from there to there if you want to in one action. And you always just populate the land like so. Okay, so what have we found? At the very top, we've got an earth elemental. There's another earth elemental there. These guys essentially will assist you with combat, and they also assist your enemies with combat. They'll be adding 2 to the combat value of your dice. And we've got an air elemental down here. This dude is not great because your highest dice and also the enemy's highest dice is flipped over to the lowest value. We have got some mountains over here, here, and here. Anything with this little symbol means it's guarded by an enemy. So we have to defeat the enemy and we'll get these tokens if we win, and also this much money if we win. We don't have anywhere to trade yet. We do have this mountain range here, which we can go and mine in if we want to. Now, we still got 1 movement left over from that initial move. So we're going to move onto here because we're going to do some mining, I think. And we found this is where you can get treasure. We've just got a forest here with some monsters and another mountain with some monsters in. So our next action is going to be a mining action. So all we're going to be doing with this is we're just going to be taking whatever is in here. And we have found this stuff. Wow, we can get 3 gold if we can find somewhere to sell that. And a reputation point. Huzzah! And we put one of our mining tokens down to say, hey, we mined this. Okay, I'm in the mood for exploring, so I'm going to use my last action, this action here, to do 3 movements. So I'm going to move in here for 1. I'm going to move the board over this way a bit so you can see what's going on. Okay, so we found a priest. So we're going to remove the top 4 cards from this deck. So these are all encounters in here. So the top 4 of those are gone. They're not going to be played in this game. So we have 3 of these left. We're going to flip over 2 of these. So we need to bring supplies to the merchant, place a hero token on the card. Each hero token gets you 2 gold, and fulfilling gets a reputation and 1 gold. And bring supplies to encounters, place a hero token on the card. So there are 2 kind of missions at the moment. And we've got another one if we manage to kind of fulfill those. So his second movement is going to move him there, which means we're going to be populating this here. And we've also got a hunter down there. Or a trader, I'm not sure. So grab that and that. Or grab that and that. And there's 1 more left. I've got 1 action left. So I moved. So, okay. So I was going to move down here, but I can't actually move down there because there's a monster on there. I don't have any combat left. So my turn ends immediately. So we're on to round 2. I didn't really do much there. We're going to use our 1 movement to move into this space here. Okay, so we found our first kind of merchants there. Before we can actually trade in them, we have to actually defeat whatever's in there. And we're on to our first level 2 tile, where we've got a level 2 monster on there, and also an alchemist there. So this is quite a good tile to get, but we are in no way ready to fight any level 2 monsters. Okay, so I'm going to use my 2 move to move into this area here. And straight away I have to just put another one out. So we've got an earth elemental there. So it's going to be affecting the combat for both this and this space here. And because we have a combat token left, it means we can go into this space to fight whatever monster is in there. So we're going to go for our level 1 monsters here. Going to shuffle these up. And we get, so we're going to get this guy here. So it's telling us it's got 3 to 5 hit points. It does 1 to 3 damage. If our reputation is between 0 and 15, we're going to be getting the reward below. So 2 of these reputation points, and we're going to get a silver card. Now the silver cards, all they do in this game is they basically help us get some gold. The enemies always get stuff when we get these as well, and I'll explain that in a bit more detail. But we have bats, and I do not like bats because they're going to reduce our speed. So we're going to go into some combat now, and I'll explain how all of this works, because it is quite involved. So let's have a quick look at this guy here. So he's got 1 chaos token, which is this symbol here, and he's got 1 of these tokens here as well. So he essentially gets both of those. So these Gar symbols are going to help him re-roll stuff, which isn't good. Now, at the very beginning, we get to choose whether we're going to first strike this creature, but we don't have any weapons we can first strike with, so we move straight into the first round of combat, which is starting with our hero healing phase. So we can use potion scrolls, gems and essences, and item abilities to basically heal ourselves, but we don't have any of that. So now we're going to be pulling out the monster, his attack. So we get this for his first attack. It's got a chaos symbol on there, which means if he has a chaos token, he can use it to perform his silver card actions. At the start of every round, you add one of these silver cards to a cache for these enemies. So he currently has 2 in here, so it means he's going to get to use one of these cards. We set these to here. If that was between 10 and 12, we'll be adding 1 to the value on our dice for She's intervention. It's currently blank, which means it doesn't really do much for the moment. So we check to see if there's any air elementals nearby. There aren't, but there is an earth elemental over here. So we're adding 2 to the combat value. So this is a +2. So I'm just going to move that to a 5, so we know. So it's currently got 11. 11 on here means it's going to do at least 3 damage. Now, there was no Grawl tokens on here, so we don't need to worry about that, but there is a chaos action. So we're going to have a quick look. So the first thing we do is we have a look over here, and we have an enchantment here. So we're now going to see if this next card is also an enchantment, which is not. So we don't need to worry. It's just going to be doing this. So 6 or more, it does an additional damage. So yes, this is going to be doing 4 damage on our first turn. Now remember, we've only got 7 hit points, so this is absolutely brutal. Now, we're going to use one of our Grawl tokens. So we have 4 of these. We're going to use one of these. We flip it to the red side, and that means we can reroll one of these dice. So this dice is getting a reroll, my friends. And I got a 3. So we also subtract 2 from the value of this. So we've got this to a 1. And I'm going to use another Grawl token to reroll this one. So that's 5. We minus 2 off of there. So that's on 3. So he's doing a value of 4, which means the enchantment doesn't work. And he's only going to be doing 1 damage instead. So we take a single damage, now on 6 hit points. And now, guys, it's our turn. So we're attacking with the rusty sword. Going to get rid of these. And his chaos token is spent. So the rest of the combat, he cannot use that. Okay, so let's go for it. Going to roll our 2 dice. So we've got a 7. We increase it by 2 because of this guy, so we're actually on a 9. Which is going to do 2 damage. However, we have a minus 3 because of this. So we're actually on 6. Which is still going to do 2 damage to it. Yeah, I'm happy with that. So we're going to do 2 damage to this fiend. And we're on to the next round of combat. So we pull out another thing. We've got 6 on there, and it's got 2 of these Grawl tokens, which means it can re-roll. So let's set this all back up. So we've got a 4 there. Got a 2 there. We get a +2 because of this elemental. So we're actually on 2 4s. I'm going to use this Grawl token to reroll one of these dice. We got a 1, but it's +2 because of the Grawl token, so we're at 7. 7 is going to be doing 2 damage to us. And I'm just going to take that 2 damage. So I'm 4 hit points now. Okay, it's our turn now. We're at -3 because of this guy. So we got 5 there. Because we rolled 5, we get to add a +1 to our sheer dice. So we're at a ridiculous size dice there. So we've got 5 there, +2 from here, but -3 from there. So we're actually, so if we add 2 onto that, 6, take away 3, we're on 3. So we're doing 4. This is still enough to do that. So we're going to do this, which is 1 damage, and it kills the bat. So the bat be dead. We get 2 reputation for this, and we get a silver card. Now, the silver cards, once we've got 4 of these, we can trade them in for cash. That's all they do. And unfortunately, the bad guys also get one of those silver cards added to their cash. We also get 3 coins. And we've liberated this area. That's everything I can do in my turn. So it's on to round 3.
We've got two reputation from doing that though, so we will be able to potentially upgrade ourselves. You always have at least 2 of these things to choose from, so we have 2 of these level 2 things, which when we get to a merchant we can use, and we're at merchants. So we're going to use our action here to do a trade action. Okay, so we're going to sell off this thing, so that gets us 3 coin and a reputation. And from the market, I can buy myself one of these because I can use gloves. So I'm going to spend 3 to get this. This gives an additional maximum hit point. So that's 3 coins for that. So we then have to spend 1 gold to reveal the abilities we've now unlocked. So it's a gold at this place to have a look, see what we've got. So Prospector, draw 2 natural resources and keep 1, or move it to 3 hexes in a straight line to reach your hex with a monster, and they're at a -2 penalty. So we're going to go for that. It's not going to cost us anything to train either, so we've now got this Furious charge ability. And Prospect is lost to us forever. So the next thing we'll reveal is a really nifty piece of armor. Okay, for my next action, I'm going to use my special Furious charge to move up to 3 hexes. I'm going to move into this space here and attack this, trying to liberate this particular area. We're going to have to move these out of the way to reveal what we found here. We've got another encounter to deal with. But before we get to that, let's fight whatever is in here. And we found a dragonfly, which isn't great because I hate these guys. -4 to our speed. Ugh. So let's put this up here. There's our dragonfly. Now, the dragonfly is even worse because he's adding 1 of these silver cards. We've already got 3 in the supply, so that now means we have 1 gold card in there. They are much worse. He has 1 chaos token, and he also has 1 growl token. Okay. Now, he gets a +2 to everything because he's next to this earth elemental. But first of all, let's see what he draws. So he gets a 6. So we add 2 because he's next to this earth elemental. So he's currently on 3 there. He's going to use a growl token to reroll this. So it's 5, and there's a +2 to that, so I'm going to just leave that there so we know that's a 7. And he could do 2 chaos actions, but he's only got 1 chaos thing, so he's going to do that. We draw out his golden thing, and he gets a chaos token. He's got +3 to his speed, and he's got a silver card. So yeah, so he's done a load of stuff there. So we get a chaos token for that. A silver card. So he's doing the maximum damage he can do, which is 3. So I'm going to have to take that. There's not much I can really do to mitigate any of this. So I take 3 damage. I'm on 2 hit points, guys. I should have healed myself up. What was I thinking? Okay, so let's see what we can do against this guy. So I've got a 10. 10 at the moment is going to be increased to a 12 because we're next to the earth elemental. But then we have a -4 there, so we're actually on 8. 8 at the moment is enough to do 2 damage. We need 3 damage to kill it. So I'm going to use my growl token here to reroll this. So yeah, so that's currently a 13. 13 is enough to get 3 damage on it. We're going to do that straight away, killing this guy in 1 foul swoop. We've liberated this merchants. So we get 4 gold for doing that. And we get 2 experience points and 2 silver cards. So we're on 3 silver cards. The enemy now has 3 silver cards also. And we're on reputation of 5. So our level 4
abilities are now able to be purchased. Now I've got one movement left if I want to use it, but I'm going to hold on to that for next turn. So this token here is going to stay with me till next round. We're on round 4. We add a silver card to the silver cash, which means they are now on a gold card. So the enemy have gold. And because I saved an action last time, I now have 4 actions to use, including that one I saved last time. This is what my board looks like. I definitely need to heal up. So good job being in the right place to do it. So I'm going to spend my my trade action this time round. I've got 6 coins on me. I'm going to spend one of those coins to heal up. And the heal value is 8 in here, so I'm basically up to 8 hit points in total now. So I've got 5 coins to spend. And this is what we're looking at here. So I could get this magic sling, which means I could do a first strike against the enemy, potentially getting reducing their speed value for the first round of combat, potentially doing damage in the first round of combat. I could get this to get me 2 Graal tokens. I could get these knee pads, which give me an additional health. But I'd have to unlock the slot, so that'd be all 5 of mine gone. And then I could also get this cool dandy thing here, which I think you can store stuff in. But I don't have anything to store into it. Or I could get rid of all 4 of these and just draw out some new things. Do I just do that? I'm going to do that. I'm going to draw out 4 new things. So I got one of these for free. Every time after this I do this, I'd have to pay moolah. So I have got a fancy necklace, which only does stuff if you have one of these armor sets. We've got a short sword, and we have got a luck scroll, which adds 4 to your speed. That short sword is definitely what I'm going to be purchasing. So I'm going to spend 3 gold to get that. I'm going to sell my rusty sword for a single gold, so I've got 3 gold remaining. And then I spend 1 of those gold to reveal my level 4 abilities. So I've got dodge, or I could spend 1 coin to get scout. I'm going to use dodge, so it's not going to cost me anything. Okay, I've got 2 gold left. I'm going to, let's see what this gets replaced with. Oh, a healing potion. I'm going to spend 2 gold to get myself these Graal tokens, and I'll spend it straight away. So I now have 3 Graals. And a necklace comes out. Okay, so that was my trade action. There's no point me going after the level 2 monster yet. I'm nowhere near ready for that kind of thing. However, we did have a new encounter come out, this lady over here. So if we have a look, these are mining ones. Unfortunately, I got rid of that. Oof, we would have got a special thing from her. So I'm going to use my 1 movement here to move into this space here. And let's see what we have around us. So we've got another alchemists there. Okay, we'll use our special ability, our Furious Charge, to move into this space here. And we're going to use this to attack them. They've got a -2 to their speed for this. So what do we find? A Shadow Beast. Oof. Well. So it gets a silver card added to the cash. So we've got gold and silver in the cash. It's got 3 chaos tokens. And 1 Graal. I do not like the sounds of this. And we also had to put this down here. So we have an Earth Elemental as well right next to it. So it's going to be adding 2 to this combat. Okay, the combat value for this is a 9. Okay, we're adding 2 to that because we have got the Air Elemental. We -2 because we did a Furious Charge, so we're back down to 9. Gets to use one of its
tokens as well. So at the moment 9 is going to be doing 2 damage to us, and it's using 1 token to regain that token, add a +3 to this, so we're on 12, and we get an additional silver card come into the cache. Also says use against heroes, but because we don't have this on there, I don't know. Actually, I think we do that, so that's going to be used against heroes. Okay, we'll see. So we're on 12. It's going to be 3 damage to us. Of course, we are going to use one of our Groll tokens to reroll this dice. So it's 1 minus 2. So we're currently, let's do on there, on 5, which is going to do 1 damage to us. So we're happy with that. We'll take a damage. And now it's our turn. So here's our roll. Okay, so we got a 3, which means we add 1 to our Shear's intervention. We get a +2 to that because we are next to the Earth Elemental. So we're on 3, so we're on 5 at the moment. This guy's going to use his Groll token against me, so 5 minus 2 is 3. So at 5, we will be doing 2 damage to it. I'm going to use one of my Groll tokens in a positive way though. Ugh. So I only added on 1 more, which isn't enough to get it into the next bracket, but we do 2 damage to the Shadow Beast. So we're on to the next round of combat. We clear away all of these. Okay, so we've got a -2 because of the Furious Charge, and the the Earth Elemental is negated because of that. But it's going to use 2 of its Chaos tokens. So you have an enchantment. We got a level 2 enchantment, so it only actually uses 1 of those Chaos tokens. So I'm at -2 speed, and if it gets 8 or more, it's going to do an additional 2 damage. So they're on 7, so that's not going to do an additional 2 damage. 7 is going to do 2 damage in total. I'm going to take that. No, I'm going to use my dodge ability, so I'm going to exhaust that, which means that's a -2. So they're on 5, which means it's 1 damage. Sure. My turn. So we got 9 there, which is going to be enough to do 3 damage, so we're just going to leave it at that. 9, 10, 11, because of the Earth Elemental, we've defeated a Shadow Beast. We get a reputation, we get one of these emerald things, and we get 2 silver cards. That means the enemy gets 2 silver cards, but I'm fine with that. We also get 3 gold for clearing that place out. We'll place one of our things on here to show that that is no longer ruled by the enemy. And once again, I'm not going to do my next action. Well, actually, yes, I'm going to move 1 space back into here. Well, no, down to here. It's a new round, so the enemy has got another silver card. Only got a couple of rounds before we can fight this level 2 monster. I feel like there's a lot more I should be doing. Okay, so we're going to use our 2 movement. We're not going to do a trade, we're going to move. I'm going to move onto this space here. We have our first water elemental there, which is nice because we get to heal 2 hit points, which means we're back up to our total hit points. So we can move another space, and we're going to teleport over here. Okay, we're then going to do a Furious Charge into this zone here. We found a Dragon Keep there. Interesting. So we're going to be fighting, and who have we found?
a boar. Okay, we're adding a silver card to the cash because of the symbol up here for silver card. So now they have 1 gold card, they have 1 chaos token, they have 1 guard token. We draw out the top of the enemy deck, so that's a 7. Now we are actually influenced by both an air and an earth elemental. So we flip over the highest value to the other side, so we've got a 2, and we add 2 because of the earth elemental, so they're currently on 6. That's going to be doing 2 damage to us. It does, however, get to use its Growl token, and because that's 1, 2, or 3, we reroll this. So that's now actually a 4. And it gets a token back, it gets 3 to its value, so that's actually on a 11, so it's going to be 3 damage, and it gets the silver card added to the cash. Oh, so 3 damage coming through. We're going to use our dodge helpers here. Yes, we're going to use our dodge. Well, it's at -2 because of the furious charge, so we're actually on 9 at the moment. If we use our dodge, it's not going to really affect us much. We're still going to be taking 2 damage. So that's 2 damage for us. It's our turn now. And it uses its Growl token. So we've got 7 to begin with. This gets turned over to the other side because the air elemental. So we're on 4. We add 2 because of the earth elemental. So we're on 6, which is going to be enough to do 2 damage to this boar. And that's fine with me. I'm happy with that. So 2 damage to the boar. Okay, so the next round of combat. It's got a 3. However, because the air elemental, that flips over to a 5. We get a +2 because of the earth elemental, but we reduce that by 2 because of our furious charge. So it's going to be doing a total of 6 at the moment. It can't use any Growl tokens, it doesn't have any, but it does have one of those left. So it's going to add 5 to this. So we're on 11 again. We use our dodge to reduce this by 2. So we're just going to be taking 2 damage again. Okay, and then we need to do at least 2 damage to kill this guy. So we got 6. Now because they're the same, we don't flip one over because of the air elemental. We do add 2 onto this, so we're on 8. And 8 is going to be doing 3 damage, so we're going to leave it as is. The boar is dead. It's deaded. So we get 1 reputation, 2 gold, and 2 silver cards. We also get 2 Growl tokens and 1 gold from the mountain. For our next action, we're going to do a mining action, so we get rid of one of these. And we draw from the mine. What did we find? What did we mine? Will it be good? Will it be fine? In the mine. So we found this stuff. Unfortunately, that is not one of the things we need from here. But hey, we got 4, so that's not bad. We can sell that for cold hard cash. We're on to round 6. Another silver card into their cash. We're going to spend our 1 move to move into this space here. Found a castle. Now, because we move into here with a water elemental, we recover 2 health. And we also get to take the treasure that we find in here. Amazing. And we find this healing scroll, which might come in handy when we're fighting the big bad. Okay, we're going to move our movement as 3. We're going to try and go to the trader. So we're going to go 1, 2, and we're going to teleport to this one here and go 3. So in there, and then we're going to use our trade action. Now we've got a bunch of silver cards for. So we've got 7 of these. So we're going to trade in 4 of those for 1 gold. So we've got 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, 7 gold at the moment.
We're going to sell off our rock we found for another 4. And then we're going to spend 7 of these to get this thing here. Now, that means we've got a reduction of 2 for our kind of slots that we can carry stuff in. And I also have to spend an additional 2 coins to actually unlock the slot on the hero. So our top hit points are now at 11. We've got 2 coins left. And I pull out this thing. Oh, we just don't have enough. Otherwise, we could have added that in there. It's also worth noting that our armor has also got this this gem we found slotted in there, so we can use that every round to give us a +1 to our speed. I think this is as good as I'm going to get for my fight against these bad guys. So I'm just going to spend my last 1 gold to reveal my level 6 things I can have. So a barbed club or rage. Now I'm going to have to sell my short sword if I wanted to get that barbed club, but that barbed club does a lot more damage. So do you know what? We're going to do that. So I'm going to sell my short sword. Oh, I still can't afford it. Yikes. I could afford the rage. Okay, I'm going to get the rage. So I'm going to spend a coin. No, because then I'd have to sell my Adam, you idiot. You'd have to sell your only weapon to do that. So I can't afford any of these yet, but they're there if I want them. Okay, we're on to round 7. We've got to do it by the end of this round. The enemy gets a silver card added to their slot, which means they now have 1 gold card. Okay, we're going to use our Furious Charge to go 1, 2 into this combat by the lake with a monster. Level 2 monster, I shall add. I add 2 hit points because I go to buy this place here. And this isn't affected by anything, so we're just going straight for a combat with a level 2 monster. Level 2 guys are tougher. I'm going to shuffle these, and we have found a Cyclops, 10 hit points. So Droll versus a Cyclops. Fight! So its initial attack is an 8. It has got 2 Chaos tokens on it. It's got 1 of these. So we did a Furious Charge, which means we reduce this value by 2. It's going to be using its thing against the heroes. And it's got 1 Chaos token, 3 of these, and we get a silver come out. So we add 3 to this. So he's on 9. Silver card gets added to our cash. He's using that against us. Okay, so 9 is going to do 3 damage to us. So I'm going to take that 3 damage. Then I'm going to fight him back. So I got a 7. It's using its Growl token against me. So I've got an actual 3 in the end, which is going to do 1 damage to it unless I do something to it. So I'm going to use one of my Growl tokens to reroll that dice. So I'm on 8, which is going to do 3 damage, and I'm going to just do that straight to him because that's as good as I can get. So 3 damage to him. And we're on to round 2. So our dice come out. It's got a 6 and a 1. So we got 7 there. Hasn't got any more Growl tokens. It does have Chaos tokens though. So it's going to add 5 to this. So it's currently at 12. It's actually at -2 because of the Furious Charge. We're going to use a dodge to reduce that by a further 2. So it's currently on 8. And we're going to have to take that 3 damage. 1, 2, 3. We're now going to use our scroll to heal 3. And now we're going to fight it. So we got a 3 on our roll, which is really sucks. We add 1 to this. So it's only 1 damage at the moment. We're going to use a Growl token to reroll that. And it's a +2, so we're actually at 8 at the moment, which is the most we can do. So we're going to do that to cause 3 damage to it again.
Okay, we don't have anything left in the cache for the enemies, so they're just going to be slogging it out with us here. So got 3. Yeah, I'm happy with that. So that takes 2 damage off me. Then I'm attacking it, and I got a 6 there, which will do 1 damage to it. I'm going to use my last Growl token to reroll that 2. So it's actually a 7 now, which does 2 damage to it. So on to the next round, the final round, hopefully, either for me or for it. It gets a 8. I can't adjust that at all. It's going to be doing 3 damage to me. I got an 8, which is 3 damage to it, which kills the Cyclops. We have just done the hunt. We defeated this guy. So between level 0 and 35, so we get 4 of these. 1, 2, 3, 4 reputation points. We get a silver card, which we'll trade in straight away to get an additional gold. We get 2 gold for clearing this out. And we get a healing potion as well. And that's the end. That's the end of the round. I can't do anything else. And I went out swinging. So I have managed to complete the hunt. Now, at this point, you have to figure out what your scoring is. So I'll let you know what my score is so you can see if you can beat me, which will be fairly easy because I'm terrible. So my final score was 21. Well, that was fantastic. I had a great time playing that. There's a few rule queries I had here and there. There's a lot to kind of remember when you're playing this solo. But actually, once the most complicated thing is that combat. Once you've kind of got that kind of down, it's fairly quick to go through that. I'm not sure how this looked on film. I might have to, for my next game of this, to kind of change the camera angles, maybe just do it all from above. I was trying to show stuff, but I'm not sure how well how that worked. So yeah, so stay tuned in the channel because we will be doing some more coverage on Euthia. We will also be doing a multiplayer version of this as well, which just to give you an idea of how it plays multiplayer because it's quite different. This scenario in multiplayer, you're trying to get more victory points than the other players, but you're also controlling the monsters. So there's a lot more player interaction. Well, of course there's a lot more because there's no player interaction in solo. But yeah, there's a lot of kind of give and take and take that kind of stuff going on there. So that's something to look forward to in the future. We will be doing at least a 2-player game. There's maybe 3-player. We shall see. My first impression of Euthia, I'm absolutely loving this game. It is exactly what I hoped it would be. A fantasy adventure game. Lots of options of things to do. You can go on quests. You can just go and fight monsters. You've really got to really kind of use your actions well. And use your Growl tokens well as well. That's really important that you're using them when you should really. My first impression, I'd say definitely play this game if you get a chance to. If you are after the next best kind of fantasy adventure game, then I would say go out and get yourself a copy of this if you can because it is fantastic. There is another Kickstarter coming for this in May, I believe. So keep an eye out for that because, yeah, I certainly will be. This was just a base game, so you can get some really cool fancy add-ons for this. So you can get some really nice dice for this. You can get a really cool kind of like a tile kind of tower. And just like miniatures for all of the elementals. There's loads you can get for this. But it is just the base game alone. You can play this and play it well. It is one of those games where you want to bling stuff out. So it's a shame like you don't have all of those really cool kind of add-ons. But the base game itself is really tight. The leveling of the monsters to your current abilities, you always feel like each combat could go wrong for you, so you always try and be prepared for a combat, which is great going into it. So yeah, all positive stuff from us about Euthia, and stay tuned because we will be doing more content. Thanks for watching this. I've been the ever excitable Adam. If you did notice any mistakes, leave in the comments below. I am still learning this game, so anything you do see and correct me on is more than welcome. Please follow us and like us on our various different social medias, Instagram, Facebook, and of course YouTube. Until next time, guys, stay safe and keep rolling.